All right, hello everybody. This is Andre from Jawan Fitness once again. So hope that you're enjoying your Wednesday. You're having a wonderful week. You're staying on track with your fitness and fat loss goals and working constantly to become the best version of yourself in your business and all areas of your life. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about, do you actually need to track macros to lose fat? Because a lot of people have been asking me this, like, is it necessary to track your protein intake, your carb intake, your fat intake, and yes, alcohol as well, because it technically is a macronutrient with 70 calories per gram. And I think you should really track alcohol because that's going to allow you to know exactly how many drinks you're having, as well as the amount of calories that you're be consuming for every drink that you have. Now, there's a lot of content that's going to come out in the future, so the next YouTube video is going to be very exciting. So I'm going to show you workout B of my client Mike right now. That's going to be the first part, and it's going to be very exciting. So I'm going to show you the exact exercises that he's doing. But let's get to the topic about this video right now. So I think that you really should track every single macro, your protein, your carbs, your fats, and alcohol, because that's going to allow you to know exactly how much that you're getting. Because if you're not tracking it, it's going to be very hard for you to reach your goals when it comes to body composition. I mean, yes, you may, lose fat, shred, have a six-pack and all that stuff, but you may not be able to maximize your strength as well as your muscle retention if you're not tracking anything. You're just going to leave it to chance, which was something I had to study which is something I had to deal with early on in my fitness journey, where I wasn't trying to track anything. I was just eating a lot of food, or the amount of food I thought I needed with the meal portions. And when it comes to fat loss, you actually want to make sure that your carbs are around 45 to 50% of your total calories, because that's going to give you enough energy for when you're doing your workout sessions, as well as keep your testosterone leptin levels under control. Like, they're going to drop eventually no matter what you do when it comes to fat loss, like if you're deep in your cut for 4 to 5 months, but you want to make sure that you try to, meditate that as much as you possibly can. So make sure that your carbs are very high and that you get most of your calories from them. When it comes to your fat, keep it at least 30 to 35% of your total calorie intake, because fats are going to help with hormonal balancing, with testosterone levels, keeping them in an elevated range, as well as going to help you stay full in between your meals, which is very important, because you don't want to be in a situation where you're going on a low-fat diet, because that's when it's going to be very hard for you to sustain that for a long period of time, because low-fat meals tend to be very bland, and healthy fats, such as olive oil, fish oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, it just makes your food taste so much better, especially if you like putting it on a stove. You want to make sure you have the setting on medium around 4, and then you can just add whatever your favorite meats, your tuna, if that's what you want to do. You can also put it in a pan with ground beef, as well as tortillas, scrambled eggs. Now, when it comes to your protein, you actually want to make sure that's slightly higher than it usually would be. So, as I said before, when it comes to building lean muscle mass, you want to make sure that your protein is at least 0.7 grams per pound body weight. So if you're 200 pounds, that would be 140 grams of protein per day. Now, I say that you want to up it a bit more when you're actually leaning down, trying to get shredded and being in the calorie deficit, and that you want to be at least 0.82 grams per pound of body weight. So again, if you weigh 200 pounds, then that would be 164 grams of protein per day. Now, if you go a little over or under that, don't worry about it. You're not going to hit your numbers exactly, but make sure that you're staying within 10 to 15 grams of your target number, because that's really going to ensure that you're going to be able to maintain a muscle mass as well as your strength and power in the gym. Now, when it comes to your sources of macros, like, what should you eat, Andre? Because a lot of people have been asking me, like, okay, you're talking about macros, but what are some good foods to eat? Because I know the basics, like chicken, broccoli, rice, jasmine rice, sweet potato. Now, for me, when it comes to my carb sources, I just love having jasmine rice. And as I said before in the previous video, is with the rice, this rice is sweeter than just your traditional brown or white rice, and that I just typically eat it the way it is after I cook it. Sometimes I will add a tiny bit of butter or just some teriyaki sauce to give it a little more flavor if I'm in the mood for it. So that's my favorite carb source at the moment. Number 2 for carbs is sweet potatoes. I just love that, because with sweet potatoes, I mainly just put it in the oven for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And I like to get the big, large size, because you get more, and it's full of vitamin A and carotene, and it's just very good for your health. And having a sweet potato right after, like an hour after your workout, it's a slow digesting carb, so it's really going to be in the system for a while. You're going to experience the benefits. Now, when it comes to faster digesting carbs, like if you want to add some carbs before your workout, I would recommend just having oatmeal and a banana. Just keep it real simple, because that's going to give you that quick energy boost that you need to really grind out in the gym, your workout session, or if you're at home, to just make sure that your training is more productive, as well as to give you the energy boost that you're going to need when you're losing fat, because you could be in a calorie deficit at that point. Now, when it comes to healthy fats, as I said before, my favorite of choice is olive oil, but I've been switching up a little bit. So right now, I just went to the store today to get me some avocado oil. It has a higher melting point and it tastes a little bit different. And instead of just, cooling it with the pan and putting my eggs in there, as well as my, ground beef or my tortillas, I like to put in my weight gain shakes right now because I'm lean bulking at the moment. So I want to get those extra calories in. And it's very tasteless and it mixes well with whatever you're going to be putting in your protein shake. And when it comes to protein, my favorite source is ground beef by far because it's just so versatile. You can do so much stuff with ground beef and that you could just have it as is. Because for me, most of the time, I just like putting it about 6 to 8 ounces of ground beef in a pan, put in the stove setting on 4, and then after that, that's when I coat it with 2 tablespoons of the avocado, which is 240 calories to make it taste really good. But sometimes I'll switch it up. I might have a burger or add it to my tortillas or whatever else I'm eating to just switch it up. So that's all I have for you, is that in order to ensure that you see the best results with the fat loss guide as well as your approach and your success, is that it's very important to track your macros of what you're eating, because that's going to allow you to know which numbers that you're hitting at and to help you reach your goals a lot faster. I mean, sure, you can just, guesstimate and just play it by ear, but what's going to happen is you're eventually going to reach a sticky point where you're just not going to be able to see results that you want. Plus, it's going to be a lot harder to stick to, and you might get frustrated at the lack of progress because you're not tracking it. Tracking is going to help you remember to stay in the ballpark of what your targets are. And when it comes to alcohol, try to stick to lower calorie drinks if you can. So, I mean, I'm not going to tell you to stay away from the beers, but if you're going to have beers where you're a big fan of beer or, apple cider or Angry Orchard ale drinkers, then just make sure that you're tracking it, have no more than 2 to 3 drinks at max. And so you actually know exactly, okay, like I had 3 Angry Orchards and that's about 400 calories. So just keep it like that and don't just continue drinking more. Now, for me, my favorite choice, I like to have, a rum and Diet Coke, Captain Morgan specifically, because the Diet Coke has no calories in it. And then the 1.5 ounces of the rum is only 92 calories, but I like to have 2 or 3 drinks, close to the weekend. So tomorrow night, the Panthers are playing against the Falcons, so I'm going to have 2 or 3 drinks there, and that'll be it. And that's all I have for you. Now, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Be sure to share with your family, your friends, with everybody that you care about, because the more people that see my videos, the more people I can help get their physique on point, as well as reach their fitness and fat loss goals. And be sure to subscribe to the channel, because that's really going to just help me out as well as you, and have more supporters with what's going on with the Jawan Fitness channel. And yeah, we have some exciting stuff coming on in the future. So right now I'm working with my friend for my logo, and you're going to see that eventually on my YouTube page when you go to it. It's just going to be a lot of stuff. So stay tuned for the next video of Mike's workout, which is going to be exercise B. This will be Mike's workout, which is going to be his workout B, and we're going to show you the first part. Then we'll go to the second part after that, because it takes a lot of time to edit the videos and to squeeze it in. So hope you enjoyed this video. Like it, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you later on. Have a good night.